I will now call the April 16th, 2018 Blue Springs City Council meeting to order. I'm going to give some instructions here first, and then I'll have you stand with me, observe a moment of silence, and we're going to have Troop 763 from Chapel Hill Presbyterian Church come lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. So young men, if you want to start walking this way, and we'll have you stand right here in front of me, or in close proximity somewhere. We're going to stand, observe a moment of silence, and when I turn around and look at you, then you will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Clear as mud? All right, let us stand and observe a moment of silence. United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Troop 763, for being here tonight. Come back and see us again. Next, we have the consent agenda. Unless there are items to be pulled, I would accept a motion for approval.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Kaler.
Aye.
Councilman Levesey.
Aye.
Councilman Fowler.
Aye.
Councilman Carter.
Aye.
Councilman Edmondson.
Aye.
Councilman Culpepper. Aye. Mayor Ross.
Aye.
Carried unanimously.
Next, we have the election of the Mayor Pro Tem. Is there a nomination?
Your Honor,
Yes.
as the current Mayor Pro Tem, it is my honor to pass the torch into nomination the distinguished councilman from District 3, Susan Culpepper.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion of the nominations? If not, I will declare the nomination be closed, and we will elect Councilman Susan Culpepper, Mayor Pro Tem, by acclamation. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Congratulations, Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you very much.
All right. Next, we're going to have the introduction of Arena Bill 4563.
I'll introduce it, Your Honor.
Okay.
First reading of Bill Number 4563, an ordinance amending Section 355010A1 of the Code of Ordinances, City of Blue Springs, Missouri, to prohibit parking in front of mailboxes between the hours of 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. on any day except Sunday and federal holidays.
Move the bill be approved on its first reading and proceed with the second.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? Councilman Levesey.
Mr. Mayor, there's a couple of concerns I had with this. I think we discussed this a few years ago, and I still have similar issues with the idea of this. I live in an area where I don't know that there's 10 feet between driveways from lot to lot. And so with this particular provision, I don't think anyone on my street would be able to park in front of their house. I recognize we're trying to be responsive to citizen concerns, so I think the Public Safety Board has tried to include some exceptions here, so I appreciate that they've been responsive to that. So I think the hours of 8 to 8 I can get to. I can see the benefit of that. But I think what may be helpful here, my concern is for Saturdays, for example, is often a time where people have birthday parties or events where families come over. And with something like this, they would not be able to have anybody park on the street, park in front of their house. And so I would like to see us maybe add Saturday Saturday as an exception. It would be a day that if there's an issue here, then residents wouldn't be able to get their mail. I also could foresee a situation where this could be used as kind of some wars between neighbors. If somebody's having a birthday party and a neighbor's upset, then they call and complain, and then police have to get involved in something that shouldn't be that big of a deal. So I'm going to make the recommendation. I'm going to make an amendment that we add Saturday as an exception to this, and I would so move that we add Saturday and Sunday or federal holidays as it currently reads as an exception.
Okay, have you heard the amendment?
I would second that.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion?
Your
Councilman
Honor,
Copeland.
I can certainly understand some of our, particularly in the cul-de-sacs, when you have those pie-shaped lots, there is no way that people can be restricted from parking in front of their homes. So I certainly would concur with that.
Anyone else? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. So it is amended. So is there a motion for the second reading?
I make a motion.
Oh, no, wait a minute. We did the first reading, we voted to amend it, but we didn't vote to
Right.
vote for it as amended.
As amended.
Okay, first reading as amended.
I make
All in favor, well, it's already been done, so
Yeah.
all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Second reading of Bill Number 4563 as amended, an ordinance amending Section 355010A1 of the Code of Ordinances, City of Blue Springs, Missouri, to prohibit parking in front of mailboxes between the hours of 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. on any day except Sunday and federal holidays.
Move the
This-
bill as amended be approved on second reading, given the appropriate ordinance number.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilman Levesey?
Aye.
Councilman Fowler?
Aye.
Councilman Carter?
Aye.
Councilman Edmondson?
Aye.
Councilman Culpepper?
Aye.
Councilman Kaler?
Aye.
Mayor Ross?
Aye.
Carried unanimously, given ordinance number 4733.
Next, we have an introduction and reading of Bill 4564.
I'll introduce it, Your Honor.
Okay.
First reading of Bill Number 4564, an ordinance approving final plat for Aldi subdivision, a replat of Lot 2, Block 1, AutoZone Edition, first plat, lots 1 and 2, within the City of Blue Springs.
Move the bill be approved on its first reading and proceed with the second.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Second reading of Bill Number 4564, an ordinance approving final plat for Aldi subdivision, a replat of Lot 2, Block 1, AutoZone Edition, first plat, lots 1 and 2, within the City of Blue Springs.
Move the bill be approved on second reading, given the appropriate ordinance number.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Councilman Fowler?
Aye.
Councilman Carter?
Aye.
Councilman Edmondson?
Aye.
Councilman Culpepper?
Aye.
Councilman Kaler?
Aye.
Councilman Levesey?
Aye.
Mayor Ross?
Aye.
Carried unanimously, given ordinance number 4734.
Next, introduction and reading of Bill 4565.
I'll introduce it, Your Honor.
Okay.
First reading of Bill Number 4565, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with the Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission relative to the road and signal improvements at State Route 7 and South Avenue, Project J4S3167.
Move the bill be approved on its first reading and proceed with the second.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Second reading of Bill Number 4565, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with the Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission relative to the road and signal improvements at State Route 7 and South Avenue, Project J4S3167.
Move the bill be approved on second reading, given the appropriate ordinance number.
A second?
Second.
Discussion? Before we take a vote, there's a point that I do want to make. This particular project started a long time ago when then State Representative Sheila Solon and I started working on it, because when the post office decided to move to South Avenue, we had some real issues with people coming out for South Avenue trying to go south. And I talked to some of the merchants there, and there have been some accidents. Fortunately, there have not been any fatalities there. And so it's good to see this come to fruition. It took a while, but looked like we're going to have the funding in place to be able to do it now, so.
And Your Honor, I understand that MoDOT this will be part of their system and they'll all be synced, so we won't be stopping every 20 feet for a stoplight.
Yeah, there's always a concern when you put traffic signals in that close proximity, where you'll have it up at Walnut and also there at 40 Highway, but if they're in sync, it should not affect traffic flow. And I think also our Public Works Director, Chris Sandy, had indicated that as well. Anything you'd like to add to that, Chris?
You are correct, Mayor and Councilman, that it will be part of the Operation Green Light sync on 7 Highway from Pink Hill to South Avenue. So that will all come together and should work nicely.
Councilman
Yeah,
Fowler.
I guess I would notice on the funding on this, it looks like Mark was very generous, even more generous than the state, trying to help out on this. So thanks for, I'm sure we had to do some lobbying to get that done, so.
Doesn't hurt to have someone involved in it that Mark. Chris is on one of the subcommittees, and I co-chair of the Total Transportation Policy Committee, so all that helps. Okay, any further discussion? If not, we'll have a roll call, please.
Councilman Carter?
Aye.
Councilman Edmondson?
Aye.
Councilman Culpepper?
Aye.
Councilman Kaler?
Aye.
Councilman Levesey?
Aye.
Councilman Fowler?
Aye.
Mayor Ross?
Aye.
Carried unanimously, given ordinance number 4735.
Next is a very special night, and I think one of the reasons we have a couple of our TV stations here is a presentation of the Mayor's Legion of Merit Award. And I'm going to have our city clerk do the reading while I make my way down. I kind of tease our city administrator, Eric Johnson, because this award was initiated in 2002, that a mayor could only recognize a person one time during their tenure. And this is my 10th year as mayor. And so it just became very obvious to me who my choice was going to be after some of the things that I noticed that was happening in the city of Blue Springs that really brought to forefront our city and what our employees are all about. So without me trying to sit here and talk about all those things, I'm going to have Cheryl, our city clerk, read it. But the other thing I'm really pleased with is I guess a month ago yesterday, I was privileged to be able to present to Officer Keegan Hughes the First Responder Award at the Chamber of Commerce luncheon. And just very impressed with him and what he does. So with that, as I make my way down, Cheryl, you might read what the award is all about.
The proclamation reads as follows. Whereas Officer Keegan Hughes is a 15-year veteran police officer who joined the City of Blue Springs Police Department on January 2014. And whereas Officer Hughes has a heart for his Blue Springs community as well as for his fellow first responders. And whereas Officer Hughes is an endurance athlete that has put his grit and perseverance into recognition of police and fire department first responders who have fallen or been seriously injured in the line of duty. And whereas officers throughout the country participate in endurance events as a part of Project Remembrance to promote fitness, raise awareness by engaging the community, and raising funds for charities that support first responders and their families. Since 2013, Officer Hughes has run 4 marathons in full uniform and completed 6 distance triathlons. That's running a half marathon, riding 56 miles on a bike, and swimming 1.2 miles, 70.3 miles total. And whereas in 2017 alone, Officer Hughes raised $25,000 for Answering the Call, a local nonprofit that aids first responders and families of the fallen in their hour of need. And whereas Officer Hughes organized a local event, Laps for Wags, in honor of Independence Police Officer Tom Wagstaff, who was badly wounded in the line of duty in 2017, raising $20,000. And whereas on March 31st, 2018, Officer Hughes completed an even bigger physical challenge by running across the entire state of Missouri from St. Louis to Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City, 260 miles in 9 days in full uniform. Officer Hughes raised funds for Answering the Call, a local nonprofit that aids first responders and the families of the fallen. And whereas the Mayor's Legion of Merit Award was established in 2002 to recognize individuals who have demonstrated extraordinary service and leadership under extraordinary circumstances. And the award can only be given once during a mayor's tenure in office with unanimous approval by the City Council. This award will be retired after 10 names or 100 years, whichever comes first. Now, therefore, Mayor Carson Ross of the City of Blue Springs and the Blue Springs City Council take great pleasure in awarding Officer Keegan Hughes with the Mayor's Legion of Merit Award, and herewith express our sincere gratitude and hereby proclaim Monday, April 16th as Keegan Hughes Days.
You can be seated. Now, he doesn't get a chance to take this home. This award sits in the lobby of City Hall. And again, as I indicated, it's been there during my 10 years with only one name on it. And our city administrator, Eric Johnson, was getting awful lonely with his name being the only one there. So now, Keegan, you get a chance to join him. And when the renovation is done at City Hall, we will find the proper place to put this in the lobby again so people coming will be able to see that. The proclamation is yours to take with you. I'm going to set this thing is heavy. All right. So anyway, if we want to get some photographs with that, then I've got another award to give you. All right. This is the Mayor's Medal of Valor. We're going to present that to you. And Chief has some comments to make as well. We had hoped that they would be here because they're going to get this as well.
Appreciate it.
Mayor, as you know, Officer Hughes did not run across the state by himself. He had a great supporting cast. And we wanted to recognize who couldn't be here tonight, Lieutenant Decker and Sergeant Colby Lally, who also supported him across the state along the Katy Trail and along the back roads. But really, I wanted to say too, and I know you'll echo this, he couldn't have done it without his family and without all the other myriad of people who supported him, from the department to his family, to his loved ones, to his distant relatives, and anybody across the state, all those other departments that helped. So we want to say thank you too to all those people.
And the other two supporting officers will also be getting the Mayor's Medal. Would you like to introduce your family?
Yeah, I have my mom, Kathy Hughes, my wife, Sarah Hughes, and sons, Hunter and Hayden Hughes, and then my mother-in-law, Diane Montgomery.
Appreciate it. Okay, that brings us to mayoral announcements. We have a few recognitions and congratulations. First, we want again to congratulate our own Dale Carter from KFKF 94.1 is receiving a large market personality of the year, radio personality of the year in Las Vegas. And what happens in Las Vegas stays in Las Vegas, including his award.
As soon as it gets engraved, they're going to mail it to me. So that's fine. Thank you.
Next, we have a week or so ago, the 911 awards luncheon by the Mid-America Regional Council. A few of our people were recognized with the work that they did. Christy Lang, Christian Bond, Terry Satlin, and Supervisor Brian Alexander was awarded the Outstanding Multi-Agency Performance Award for their work when Officer Wagstaff was shot. So anyway, we want to thank them and recognize them for the award that they received. We also have a new staff person that we're going to introduce that's going to, she's sitting there. Miranda Osterman is our new communications manager. So she's going to be taking care of all the publicity for us. So we want to welcome Miranda. Also over the weekend, the Blue Springs South Jaguar Pride Marching Band performed in the 2018 National Cherry Blossom Festival Parade in Washington, D.C. And if I'm not mistaken, our city administrator's daughter, Emily, she's one of the drum majors for that organization. So congratulations to the Johnson family and the Blue Springs South Jaguar Marching Band. Last but not least is if you are a participant on Facebook, the Blue Springs Neighborhood Watch. There was a lot of chatter about the exits in Blue Springs off of I-70. It started out negative, it's why don't the city do this, and then somebody corrected them and say, well, that's not the city's responsibility, that's the state's responsibility. So they got into, why don't the state do this? But then I saw something happen. That conversation changed because somebody suggested, why don't we do something about it, because we are the city. And if we want to take pride in our city, then we will step up to the plate and do something about it. One of our citizens, Ken Harrell, he took on the responsibility of organizing a cleanup day, which was last Saturday. Last Friday, I had short sleeves on. Last Saturday, you needed a coat on. But people, we had 18 people show up. And they were provided vests by our city staff, safety vests to put on. And they braved the cold weather to go out and start cleaning up those exits on I-70 into Blue Springs. If you watch any of the pictures, they ran into things other than just trash. They ran into some critters. Critters, namely snakes, that they had to deal with. But fortunately, nobody was bitten by any of the snakes. Also, the supervisor for cleanup at MoDOT also came out. Matter of fact, because of some of the chatter, they had already started cleaning up one of the intersections off of I-70. So it just made a lot of people step up to the plate and say, you know, if something needs to be done, why wait for somebody else to do it? We'll do it. Which leads me to my thoughts to ponder. And my thoughts to ponder tonight comes from the 35th President of the United States, John F. Kennedy, when he made those profound words saying, that's not what the country can do for me, but what I can do for my country. And that's what these people did. It's not what the city or state can do to keep Blue Springs beautiful. What can we do to keep Blue Springs beautiful? And there are going to be some other opportunities because all of it's not cleaned up yet. And so
Mr.
Ken
Mayor.
is going to organize some other ones. I know Chris Levacy got involved in it and helping coordinate getting those safety vests.
I was just going to say, the results, I pulled it up here, they filled 45 trash bags, 45 55-gallon trash bags, so somewhere around 2,000 gallons of trash in 2.5 hours.
Yes.
So that's quite a feat.
So we encourage anybody that want to be a participant. It's not just chatter or talk on Facebook, but get out and turn that talk into action. And that's what it's all about. That's what makes Blue Springs special. I think that's what sets us apart from a lot of communities. You have people that are willing to step up to the plate and be counted for the good of this community. So, that ends my sermon. I tell you that normally when I preach, I have the collection plate passed around, but I'm not going to do that tonight. I might even sing a hymn or two, but I'm not doing that tonight. So anyway, I don't have anything else. I don't have any visitors appearance form. And again, congratulations to you, Keegan, you and your family for being here tonight. We wish you continued success in what you do, and may God bless and keep you. That being said, I accept the motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. We adjourn.